Thank you for tuning in my channel, Voice of Reason. This video is going to be about the movie Nappily Ever After. And I've seen a lot of people like anticipating it coming out. It came out on Netflix at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was up and I so happened to just turn it on Netflix because I couldn't go to sleep. And when I turned it on, the movie, like, her face popped up. I said, I know this ain't the movie. So I clicked on it, and then I wound up falling asleep on it. So then later on that day, I had a hair appointment, and I wound up doing somebody's hair. So I wound up doing hair as I watched the movie. My take on the movie was, if I was to give it 10 stars or something, I'd give it probably a 7 out of 8. It was actually really good. I didn't like the way it ended. I'm the type of person that I like for the story to continue going. I don't want you to stop, you know what I'm saying, in mid-relationship. Like, I got to know, like, is the person going to jump out the bridge? Is the person going to live? Is the person going to die? Is the person going to be together? Are they going to get married? Or whatever. I don't like when people just end the movie and then it have you wondering. So, I gave it like a 7.5, 8. And I'm going to start with the beginning. So the movie opens up with, I think her name is Violet, which is Sonali and what is the mom's name? The mom off of Greenleaf. I can't think of her name. Lynn Whitfield. Okay. So Lynn Whitfield plays as Sanaa Lathan's mother, and it opens up with Lynn Whitfield just talking to her daughter. She's flat ironing her hair, and she's telling her, like, I can't wait for you to be, when you get older, you'll be able to get a man of your dreams, and you'll get any man you want to. But she's telling her this as she's flat ironing her hair. Now the little girl's natural, but she's taking a hot comb and pressing her hair out. And she's like, yes, I can get a man like daddy. And then the dad laughs and he says, oh no, baby, you and your mother would be too perfect for any man. So and then it goes on to, like, I guess they're at like this little pool party or something. And Sonali, as a child, she's like looking at this boy and they're making eyes at each other and her hair is flat. And the little boy's like, hey, are you scared to swim? And she was like, no. And he was like, well, come on in. So she jumps in the water. And when she goes under the water, they're like looking at each other. And he like backs his head up like, what happened in your hair? So when they came out the water, and that's what he asked her. He was like, what happened to your hair? And then it was like, chia, calling her a chia pet and stuff. So she started crying. Lynn Whitfield got mad because she was like, why would you jump in the water? Why would you ruin your hair like that? And then, so as the movie is moving on, like making different segments, I guess I can explain it like that. Like, one of them is called Straight. The other one's called Weave. The other one's called Blonde. And then the other one's called Bald. So we're into Straight right now. So it's her wearing her hair flat iron. She sleep. She got like this little silk scarf on, and she's in the bed with her man. And she jumps up, and she goes in the bathroom, and she combs her hair down, and she freshens up. Now it's like 5 o'clock in the morning that she's doing this. Dude's still asleep. So then she hears a knock at the door. She runs down to the door, and it's her mom. So her mom comes in. She's like, girl, what's going on? I'm so excited about today. Da, da, da. So now Lathan takes her mom to the closet, and she's like, look. And there's like a little blue box in the dude's pocket. So basically, she thinks that it's an engagement ring. They're going to get engaged. So she tells her mom that. So her mom's like, oh, let me do your hair. So 5 o'clock in the morning, Lynn Whitfield is flat ironing her hair. Well, yeah, she's flat ironing her hair. She got the comb and the flat iron. She's taking it down, and she's flat ironing it, and she's flat ironing it. And then, so her mom leaves. She goes back upstairs, and she lays down in the bed, and her hair is all flat and cute. And I guess to me, it looked like he smelled the burntness of her hair, because he just like, and he woke up and he looked at her and he was like, "Hey, beautiful," and they gave her a kiss, and then they did what they did. And then after that, she goes into work. She's feeling good. She's like, "Okay, I seen my engagement ring. We about to get engaged." She is pitching her idea, because what she is a commercial advertiser. So she's like pitching her idea for a commercial that she want to have for some lipstick. So excuse me. So she's pitching the commercial, and after that, she's like, tell my girls to meet me here, and we're gonna do this and do that. So that day was her birthday. They go out, and they go out to dinner. Her dad's gonna be there. Now her mom and her dad's not together. I don't quite know what her dad did to her mom, but for some reason, they're not together anymore. So they go out, and they're at the little place eating. So he pulls the little thing out of his pocket. And he was like, I'm happy that everybody could be here. I see how close your family is. This is about family. And he pulls out the little box. And when he pulls out the box, he sits it on the table, and then she opens it and she pulls it out, and she's like, "What's this?" So it's like look like a tiny bracelet, and then it has like a little heart on it. And he was like, "Well, this is just for this." And then he brings up this really big box. So then they open the box, and a little cute little puppy pops out. And he's like, "And this is for her. And this is, I'm welcoming our puppy to the family." So she goes in the bathroom, and she's complaining to, I'm sorry, I just came back from the game. She's complaining to her mom and her friends about what's going on, and she's like, "A puppy? I thought he was gonna, propose to me, and this, and that." And they just trying to calm her down, like, "Girl, he's gonna still propose to you. Calm down. Everything's gonna be okay." So she, like I said, she's complaining about that. So then the scene moves on to them getting home, and she's upset. She's kind of tossing stuff around. And he's like, "Well, what's wrong?" And she's like, "Well, I thought you was going to propose to me." He said, "Propose to you? You for what?" And she was like, "Because we've been together for 2 years." And he was like, "You're beautiful." He was like, "You wake up beautiful." He was like, "You're perfect." Basically was saying she's perfect. She's beautiful. There's not a blemish. And she was like, "So what's the problem? We've been together for 2 years. What's the problem?" And he's like, "Well, you don't let your hair down. When we go out, you don't dance. When we do this, you don't do that. When I'm in the shower, we don't have random sex in the shower." So that's basically what he was saying. And she was like, "Okay." And he was like, "I feel like we've been on a 2-year first date." And that, for some reason, that hurt her feelings. So she was like, "You're never going to want to marry me, are you?" And then he said, "I didn't say that, that's not what I said." So they wound up breaking up. And I skipped the part. What I skipped was, before they went to the dinner, she went to her friend's house. Remember, I told you they were supposed to eat on the terrace. She went to her friend's house, and before the dinner, and then she was looking at these kids, and she was like, "Oh, da da da." So the kids sprayed her hair, and her hair started to like poof up. So she was a nervous wreck. She couldn't get into the beauty shop with her stylist. So her best friend, which one of her best friends is natural, like she has kinky hair. She was pretty too. So she was like freaking out because her hair wasn't straight anymore. So she paid $200 to take somebody's spot at the local salon. She went to the salon, and they were just going to do a deep condition because, like I said, she's really natural, but she just gets flat irons. So she went, and the girl was like, "Put some conditioner in her hair." So she went and put the conditioner in her hair, and she's sitting. I'm skipping like little key parts because when you watch it, I don't want to tell you the whole movie. So she's sitting under the dryer, and she's like, "I'm hot. I'm hot." She's like, "Why am I so hot?" And she was like, "Oh, just sit under there for 7 more minutes. You gotta let the conditioner sit." She's like, "No, I'm hot. I'm really hot." So she jumps up, and the girl washes the conditioner out of her hair. Come to find out, it's not conditioner. It is a relaxer. So the little girl gave the person who was doing her hair a relaxer, and instead of the girl checking like, "Oh, girl, this is a relaxer. Go give me some conditioner," she just put it in her hair. So basically, her hair fell out. So she got mad at the owner. She told the owner, "You won't go find me some weave, the best weave you can get." So then we move into the section of weave. So now that we're in this section, like I said, she done broke up with the dude. She goes to work and she's like discombobulated. Her shirt's all unbuttoned. She just don't, she's not there. She's physically at work, but she's not mentally at work. So whenever she's at work, she messes up on the pitch that she was supposed to do and knocks stuff down, and it's chaotic. So her boss was like, "We're going to give this advertisement to this person. You go, you take a break." So she goes and she takes a break, and she goes to the mall and goes shopping. So she sees that little girl that put the relaxer in her hair, and the little girl's stealing. So she go in there and she catch her stealing. She calls her dad. Her dad comes and he's like yelling at her outside in front of the mall. So she's like, "Well, I just got strip search for your daughter, and something's going on. She's doing this for a reason." And he was like, "Well, it don't matter, and why would I take advice from you?" And they was basically getting into it. So then there's a blonde head, natural looking girl. It's a girl with natural hair, but she has blonde like streaks in it, and she's with this guy. So she's looking at her like, "Oh, well, she got a man and she got blonde hair." Instead of looking like she got a man and she's wearing her natural curl, she's like, she got a man and she got blonde hair. So this fool goes and dyes her hair blonde. So she got this little cute blunt cut and it's blonde. She tells her friends, so now we're moving into the section of blonde. So her friends is out and they're trying to get her to let her hair down and party. She falls down the steps. A white guy helps her up off the ground, and when he helps her up off the ground, they dance and they tossing back drinks. They go back to his house, and they about to get it in, but she pours like honey all over his body, and she's like rubbing the honey, and then she slipped and hit her face on his chest, and then she was like, "This is not gonna work." He was like, "No, it's foreplay," and she's like, "No, it's not gonna work." So, then she leaves his house. And it's raining outside. So now her hair is drenched. The blonde is drenched. She got her little curl pattern on. And she goes to get in an Uber. The Uber is driving her and he's talking to her. And the guy finally says, like, he's talking to her about relationships. So she's like, "Can you take me to the hospital?" Because the guy she thought was going to be her fiance was a doctor. So she gets to the hospital and her hair is like, starting to get bigger. So he's over there flirting with this other doctor, and he turns around, he sees her, and he comes up to her, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on? What's wrong? Blah, blah, blah." And she was like, "Oh, no, go over there and be with your nurse." And he was like, "No." He's like, "What's going on with your hair?" And she was like, "It's called F you hair." Basically saying, like, forget you hair, but she cussed. So, I don't cuss. That's something that y'all gonna learn about me. I don't cuss. So, he was like, "Oh, okay." And she was like, "Do you know what that means?" So, basically, she was saying F off to him. So he was like, "Whatever." And she was like, "You're having sex with that girl," or whatever. So he goes and do what he's going to do. So she goes home and she's so drunk. So she's in the bathroom and she takes these clippers to her head and she shaves her hair off. And now she's bald. So her mom comes over there because her mom was supposed to come and straighten her hair the day before whenever she was all upset about what was going on. Well, 2 days ago. So her mom comes in the door and she's like, "What happened?" And she passes out. She calls her dad to come get her mom, and then her dad's like, "You can't keep calling me to come get your mama." He's like, "We not like that no more." So then she's like, "Well, what about me? I need you." And like, man, she done scalped herself. Like, she done cut all her hair off. She got patches in the back and stuff that she done missed. So her dad was like, "No, I'm not coming over here for this. You look beautiful. It's showing off your beautiful face." So basically her dad's like, "Be you. Be who you are. And wear your natural hair." But she didn't know who she was. You know what I'm saying? Because her mom's been straightening her hair since she was little. And for a lot of us in the black community, that's what happened. Our moms couldn't tame our hair, couldn't do our hair. If your mom wanted a hairdresser, she wasn't trying to fool with your hair. So she just threw one of them just for me perms in your hair. Honest to God truth, I've been getting relaxers since I was 3 years old. I didn't become natural until I had my third child. And that was like, my daughter, she's 5. Yeah, my daughter's 5. So about 5 years ago. And then I went into a transition of wanting to go back to a relaxer, wanting to cut my hair off, wanting to grow my hair out, wanting to wear wigs, wanting to this. I was going through so many changes. And, that's basically how women are in the black community. They cut their hair whenever they get out of a relationship. They cut their hair when they get a new relationship. Whatever, to stay in control. So, he was basically telling her, like, to embrace yourself, but she don't know who she is. Because she's been wearing her hair straight for so long, she don't know who she is. So, she's wearing her hair. She goes to work, and she got this scarf on, and she's talking to her boss, and she's like, can you, I want to do a bear campaign. Can I be the advertiser for a bear campaign? And he was like, yeah, I'm going to give you a try, blah, blah, blah. So she goes out with her friends, and she's like, tell me what you see. So then they looking around, they tell her what they see. So she go back to work, and she pitches the idea. And they basically picked the white guy's idea. And it was like, no, even though she was a good pitch person, they picked the white guy's idea. So she was like, I quit. So she quit the job. She's out trying to experience life. Like, her best friends love her hair. Everybody loves her hair. So the guy that I told you about that came to pick the daughter up at the mall, he was the owner of the shop to where the little girl messed up her hair. And she went over to the little girl's house. She gave her the dress that she tried to steal from the store. And then she braided her hair up. And, they just had a little small talk. And then, and then the dad came back. Her and the dad wound up, like, starting to develop a relationship. So they develop a relationship or whatever, and it's going over the course of the relationship. One day, they decide to go over, now we're in bald. We're in the bald section. So she decides to go and take him to a family, like, 4th of July cookout. So they go there, and, like, her mom is trying to hook her up with this lawyer. She insults the guy. She insults the, like, beautician guy. So he leaves, and he's like, I ain't got time for this. I got a daughter. I got to worry about who I'm about to bring into her life. And he's like, I ain't got time for this. So she goes off and chases him, and he's like, no, it's over. So she's upset, and she's crying. She's in her living room. She's dancing. She's getting it. Like, she's boogieing. And then she bends down, and she does a little light twerk. And her ex-boyfriend walks in, the guy who she thought was going to propose to her. He walks in, and he's watching her. And he's like, yeah, get it, girl. Okay. So she winds up falling. She's trying to twerk, and she falls on the ground. And then she turns around, and she gets scared. She's like, oh, what are you doing here? So he tells her what he's doing there and stuff. And then he's like, I like it. I like the way you look. I like your hair. I like, And at this time, she's not bald anymore. Because the guy who owns the shop has, like, some miracle solution or something. And he massaged her little bald head. He massaged her little scalp. So her hair started growing back from his product. So at this time, she got, like, a little part right here. And her hair is, like, it's cute. So, like I said, he said, I like your hair. You look nice. You dancing. Why ain't you never been like this with me? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, whatever. What do you want? So he goes upstairs. He takes a shower. She goes upstairs, she jumps in the shower. And then it goes to the scene where they wake up in the morning and, they vibing, they feeling each other. And he's making her some food, and then he proposes to her. So she calls her friends, she calls her mom, everybody's excited, everybody wanted to be a part of this proposal, blah, blah, blah. Moving on from there, she goes, they're having a dinner. And he's like, are you going to do something with your hair? He's like, I like the natural, but can you straighten your hair? So she was like, oh, yeah, baby, I'll straighten my hair. So she went, invited her mom over. Like I told you, she got short hair. Her hair is like this long. So her mom came over, and she flat ironed it. She made it into this little cute, little straight style. It was real cute. And when she got to the party, she began to freak out. And she was like, if I put my shoes on, I'll be perfect for the party. But if I leave my shoes off, I won't be perfect at all. So he was like, what's going on? And she, explained the story. She's like, Mom, there was one time when we was at the party, and, I jumped in the water, and I came out, and everybody talked about my hair, and you was upset, and da-da-da. And she was like, yeah. She's like, I don't want to be perfect anymore. Basically, that's what she said. I don't want to be perfect anymore. I want to be me, and who I am this is who I am. So he's like, so what are you trying to say? So she goes outside. She jumps into the pool. Her best friends follow her. The little girl follows her and jumps into the pool. Just like everybody at the party who was like vibing with her jumped into the pool. except for him, his mama. Her mama, Lynn Whitfield, jumped into the pool, and then she had her little G braids under her wig. Her husband wanted to get back with her because he's like, this is the most beautiful I've ever seen you look. It was cute. So then the movie wound up ending like the guy she's pitching for the guy, she's pitching the guy's little miracle hair drop stuff. And that's how it ends. It ends, she pitches that for him and they get the account, and that was it. So if you have not yet seen this movie, I'll give it a 7.5, because I didn't like the way it ended. If there's any other movies that you want to know about, or just stay tuned to my channel. You'll get to know me. I got a lot of projects coming up to where I will be sharing with you guys. And I'll be turning 30 the end of this year. So right now I'm planning my birthday party. I'm planning my 30th birthday. And I talk myself into not being afraid of my 30s. A lot of people say your life ends at 30, but my life is about to begin at 30. So I thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of Reason. And I will be coming back at y'all with another video later.